These are my favourite organising hacks. I'm a mum to 4 children and a dog, and I've organised my home so that it makes my family's living so much easier. We can find everything so easily because we know where everything is, and I'm going to be showing you how to organise things. I'll show you some really good hacks as well. Let's get stuck straight in, shall we? One of my favourite ways to organise board games is this hack that I've been using for the last couple of years now. You know yourself how much room board games can take up, and this was happening with me. So we are a massive lover of board games in this house, and I really needed to reduce the amount of space that they took up. So what I did is I took all the board games out of the boxes, and hear me on this one, because sometimes if you open up a box, all you'll find in that box is a little timer, a little pack of cards and some counters, and you'll be surprised how much little space that takes up. So what I did is got rid of all the boxes, and then I got these clear bags. These are bags that I'll link in my description box because I got them from Amazon and they're really reasonably priced. I got the A4 size and the A3 size, and I just took out all the contents from each board game, put them into a Ziploc bag. Some of them I put labels on the front, but to be honest, you can actually see through these bags, so you can see what game is through the bags, but you can go ahead and write on the bags with a permanent pen or put labels on them as well. And honestly, in one little box like this, I can store about 15 board games. How cool is that? Whereas before, when I had the boxes, I could only store 4 board games in these boxes. They were just taking up so much room. So I absolutely love this hack. If you're finding yourself a little bit overwhelmed with clutter in your home and you don't know where to start with getting rid of things, sometimes we can be a little bit clutter blind because we're just so used to seeing those things and our brain sort of zones them out. So my favourite tip is to take a photo of a surface. For instance, if you've got like a side table or you've got a fireplace or something like that where it's really bugging you because there's so much clutter on that thing, then take a photo of it and then have a little look at the photo. Is there anything on that photo that you can see that's really bugging you? Try moving things around and then take another photo and see if that makes a difference. Try taking things away and see if that makes a difference as well. Just keep taking photos and then work out what is best for you. So if you take away a vase, or you take away some photo frames, or you take away some fake flowers, and you find that that space now looks really calm and welcoming, then that's a good indicator that you can get rid of those things so that it really frees up your mind and makes them for much more of a relaxing area for you. A good way of keeping flat surfaces clear in your home, for instance, tables, work desks, chairs and that type of thing, is to collect clutter in baskets that you can put away a little bit later on. This is one of my favourite ways of keeping flat surfaces in my home decluttered. All I'll do is just grab one of these baskets, go around my home, collect things that are not supposed to be there, and then I'll decide where to put them a little bit later on when I've got more energy and time. My favourite way of organising clothes, and I've been doing this for a good couple of years now, is to file fold clothes. So Marie Kondo is really known for folding her clothes like this, and I've very closely worked out how to fold my files, why can't I get my words out? Fold my clothes in the way that she does. So I don't do it perfect, but honestly it works really well for me, and it's really quick actually the way that I do it. So I like to fold my clothes like this so that I can store them in organisers like this. It just makes finding clothes so easy, honestly. I can find my outfits really quickly now. The way that I used to store my clothes was putting clothes on top of one another, and I was forever sort of sifting through the clothes, trying to find something, but now I can visually just see something. I'll open up my wardrobe or my drawer and I can see the things right in front of me, so I can just quickly grab them. This has worked wonders for organising my kids' wardrobes as well, because they've got these big drawers. I use the IKEA organisers, which I will link in my description box because these are my favourite organisers, and I'll just organise them into categories like this. And it's surprising how many clothes I can fit into these organisers now. I get loads of deliveries because I'm a notorious online shopper. So with that, I get a lot of boxes and packaging. And what I do is as soon as I get that package, I will break down the boxes straight away, put them in recycling or reuse them for my vintage selling. And I will also get rid of bags and packaging straight away so they're not laying around. Folding fitted sheets. Why is it so hard to do this? Honestly, it's taken me such a long time to learn how to do this, but I've mastered it now. What you want to do with a fitted sheet is to fold the corners in like this, and then fold the 4 corners together, and then make like a little rectangle. I don't make it perfect, but make a little rectangle like this, and then you can fold it in on itself, fold it over again, and it makes a lovely little parcel which you can store your fitted sheets so easily. I actually like to roll up my fitted sheets, and this is really quick and simple, to be honest. Once you master this, you'll be folding those fitted sheets within seconds, because honestly, it doesn't really take that long to learn. It's just a little bit fiddly to start with. So have patience with this, because I have learned. It did take me a couple of tries. But if you just watch this video a few times maybe and just have a little practice, you'll get there in the end. Store bedding together in little bundles like this. What I do is I will fold out the duvet cover, and then I'll put a pillowcase on top, or 2 pillowcases because I've got a double bed. I'll put this sheet on top of that as well, and then I'll fold it in on itself like this, and it just means that when I want to change my bed, I just grab a bundle and just change my bed so easily. Honestly, this has made changing my bed so quick and easy. And I also do this with my kids' bedding as well. It's just makes it so much easier to store your bedding as well, because it's so tidy. Storing them one on top of another like this, they can stack easily. It's all folded nice and neatly, and you don't have to be perfect with this either. Fold and roll pajamas together so you've got a set all in one. I just fold the top like this, fold the pajama bottoms, and then stick them on top of one another. Give it a good roll up so it looks like a sausage roll, and then you can store these in your containers, in your wardrobe, on shelves, and in drawers, of course. But then it just makes finding a set of pajamas so quick and easy. I do this with my pajamas, I do this with my kids' pajamas, and it just makes it so easier now to store those pajamas and also to find them as well. Spar fold your towels. Honestly, you'll understand when you start doing this, because it makes such a difference to storing your towels. Not only does it look tidier, but it keeps the towel together so it's not falling around everywhere, if that makes sense. So I started folding my large towels like this. What you want to do is just fold it over, not all the way, and then fold it in on itself like this. Fold it over once, bring the bottom up, and then fold it over so it looks like a little bit of a parcel. This helps your towels to stay together so you can easily store them in cupboards, on shelves, in drawers, or in a towel rack like this. And the reason why I fold my towels like this is because if I fold them just the conventional way, they don't stay in this towel rack. So now that they stay in this towel rack really easily by doing this, and it looks a bit complicated, but honestly, it didn't take me long to learn this. It is more simple than you think, so just give it a little try. Have an extra box for storing extra things. I'll get onto that now. I haven't explained that very well, but what I mean by this is if you buy extra things like sauces or olive oil or seasoning or packets of rice or packets of pasta like what I do, have a box in your cupboard where you can store those extra things so that they're not taking up visual space in cupboards, so that you can just rotate those things when you need them, if that makes sense. So I like to just keep in my cupboards the things that I'm using on a daily basis. So if I've got extras, what I'll do is I put them into a box and then put that box in my cupboard. It goes right towards the back of the cupboard, out of the way. Moving on to my next tip as well, I've just thought of a tip now from the top of my head, is if you've got cupboards which have got like a weird shape like what I've got here, and you can't really reach to things at the back, my biggest tip for you is to put things in boxes. Honestly, then you can just pull those things out. You've got those things right in front of you. It makes finding stuff at the back of your cupboard so easy because they're not all falling around and they're just nicely organised. If you're always finding yourself with an open bag of crisps, bread, frozen chips, that type of thing, then I highly recommend the IKEA clips. Honestly, I love these clips. I will find a little link if I can and put it in my description box, because I've been using these for the last couple of years and they're one of the most used things in my home. So I use these if my little girls open a bag of crisps and they decide they don't want them anymore. We can put the little clip on and it just keeps that bag really sealed for such a long time as well. It's surprising. I also use them for frozen food, like frozen vegetables, frozen chips. So if we only use a little bit from that bag, I can put the clip on and it stops all the food from falling out in our freezer. These are brilliant. One of my favourite ways to organise snacks is to get rid of the packaging. So when I have a shopping delivery or if I buy shopping, I'll just take everything out of its packaging. For instance, all the crisps out of the packaging, I'll put them into this basket. I will remove any snacks such as chocolate bars or food bars, that type of thing. I'll take them all out of their boxes and packaging. Get rid of the packaging, which saves you on just constantly going through packaging and recycling things. You just do it all in one go. And then it's so much easier to find things as well. So if you have them in open containers, you can just take something out of a basket straight away. You can see exactly what you've got. And you're not having loads of boxes taking up loads of room in your cupboards as well. I find it a nightmare to organise things into cardboard boxes or plastic bags because I just find it really messy looking and it's hard to get to things. So this is honestly, it saved my time and energy like you wouldn't believe, and it's so much easier for my kids to find snacks now as well. I'm notorious for having small boxes or dividers in drawers for small storage. For instance, I organise my little girls' bubbles like this because it makes finding my little girls' bubbles so quick and easy. This has made such a difference to my morning like you wouldn't believe. I also organise my art supplies like this so I can section things off, and it just makes finding things really quick and easy. You can get these little containers in lots of places. I'll link some in my description box. It is so much easier to put things away because you know where they go, and it also stops things from rolling around in drawers. It's easier to find things because they're all compartmentalised. That's a long word. I've been really loving cord bundlers lately. I'll link a couple of the ones that I've got down below because they are really good ones. I use this cord bundler on the side of my work table. This is for my microphone arm because I was finding that cord was constantly dangling down and it just looked really messy. It would all get tangled up. This is a self-adhesive cord bundler and it's so quick and easy to stick on, honestly, and it's really strong as well. I've also got a couple of these little boxes dotted around my home for containing these plugs, which I've got multi-socket plugs. Why can't I think of the word right now? Honestly, my brain just wants to go to sleep. But honestly, these look so tidy. I hate plugs and wires being on view because it just looks so messy, but these honestly look so stylish. I've got one for my little work table. My son's got one up in his bedroom, and honestly they just look so much tidier than having wires and plugs lying around. Magazine files are awesome for organising things like bottles in cupboards, chopping boards by putting them on their sides, organise food box lids in these or plates and all sorts. You don't have to just use them for organising magazines. I love to store my sanitary towels in a box rather than just keeping them in their plastic bag because I just find it so much easier to get to them like this. I can see through the box how many things I've got in that box, and it just keeps it all contained and looks a lot tidier than a plastic bag. And my last tip for you is if you have duplicate items, for instance, if you like to buy things on special offer, and what I like to do is buy cleaning products on special offer. So I always have plenty more cleaning products than I need to be put in my cupboard. I'll put them into a box. I've got a cardboard box in the garage at the moment, and then I'll put them out of sight, out of mind. I know where they are. I can go to them whenever I need them, but they don't always have to be cluttering up my home, taking up space in my cupboard if I'm not using them there and then. So if you've got duplicates of things, get a box with a lid and put it out of sight, for instance at the top of a cupboard or in a garage or in a shed, and just get it out of the way because you don't need it in your cupboards if you're not using it here and now. Because honestly, it's surprising how cluttered up these cupboards can get, and you can get really overwhelmed because it's hard to find things in cupboards if you've just got loads of things piled all up on top of one another. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like. I really need your help. Have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.